Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Give some folks an opportunity to jump in here, and hopefully, our CEO will enlighten us with her beauty and grace in a moment with her picture. But come on, chop chop, video
Really?
on.
Jason, go ahead. That don't stop the show.
Chop chop, video on. What's good, everybody? Welcome to another rendition of course, Urban City News.
What is it?
I don't think that's the name of this.
Where you at, Jason?
Urban City News.
Frontline News. I'm only messing with y'all. Bringing you, of course, news and conversations from around urban America and beyond, and from the front lines. I'm sorry, of America and beyond. And I'm a little dismayed this evening. I've had a full day. Not only did I get an opportunity to meet our newly governor-elect this afternoon, but I also had an opportunity to meet someone who I probably have made babies listening to their music. And that's the legendary Freddie Jackson was in the building this afternoon. Freddie Jackson.
Babies, Jesus.
I might have made babies listening to Freddie Jackson.
You didn't call
movies.
me?
Huh? Didn't call you. Didn't call
Not
you.
when you was making the babies, Jason.
No.
To meet Freddie, to meet him.
I was wondering what she wanted me to call her for, but but I had a full day. And then I'm exhausted. I haven't had lunch, and and then on top of everything else, the conversation that we're gonna have this evening, family, really has me taken right now, because I've actually prepared several articles. I pulled up several articles in reference to this, and we have an issue in our city. But before we get into the conversation, let's make sure we do some housekeeping first. Of course, this episode, as well as every other episode, is being brought to you by BlackUSA.news. We got to thank the whole Donnie Glover Be More News team, the home of the original Black Wall Street series, just as far as independent journalism goes, he is the epitome of Black investigative journalism. And so our hats go off to Donnie Glover for allowing us, giving us this opportunity, this platform with BlackUSA.news to be able to come on and have this conversation with y'all each and every week. Now, I don't know what's going on with my team, but my team is not here as well. They disappeared on me. I still ain't seen you yet, Yolanda. Okay, there you go. And then now your audio is off. So
well, stop lying, because I just asked you why you didn't call me about Freddie Jackson.
Yolanda, he got a lot going on. Everything's going over his head. He didn't see you when you're there. Yeah.
So, but also this episode of Frontline News is being brought to you by, of course,
Freddie Jackson. It's brought to you by Freddie Jackson.
We're gonna take it nice and slow,
right?
Because you are my lady.
All right, I'm glad. All right. Now I know who Freddie Jackson is. Cool.
Okay. So, also this episode is being brought to you by, of course, People Empowered by the Struggle. If you need us, give us a call. We are a one-stop shop for all struggles. Doesn't matter what your struggles may be in life that you are trying to navigate through. Give us a call and allow us to help you.
Don't call us.
Because we know that a lot of times trying to deal with our struggles in life, it's hard to do it alone. But together we can accomplish anything. And so if you need us, give us a call, 443 315
What? 355
8014.
Well,
and that's got to be my first number to call if I ever get locked up and
wait a minute,
I don't
we
even
ain't got to
remember
worry about nobody calling because they're gonna call that other number 315.
I know we ain't got to worry about him calling if he get locked up because he got the wrong number.
443-355-0814.
8014.
8014. I'm sorry, 8014.
How about just put it across the screen, Jason? Because I
We'll
don't know
just
what you.
okay. We'll just put it across the screen then.
Thank you, but don't call. Call those numbers, Jason.
This gonna be a hard show today.
No. Well, I got it wrong down here too.
No, that's good.
8014.
That's good.
Okay, so that's what I said. 8014.
That ain't nothing you said.
I said 443-355-8014.
No, you said you said 0814.
You said 0814, Jay.
Okay. Well, we are a one-stop shop for all struggles. We don't take off for your birthday, our birthday, or Jesus' birthday, as our CEO and founder always says. And again, give us a call if you truly need our help. So really quick too, before we get into this program, we have to give our condolences to the Moorhead family. Today was the burial ceremony for Tyree Moorhead. He was laid to rest. Got to thank the imams and got to thank the Muslim church, mosque over in Liberty for taking care of our dear brother and making sure that he had a homegoing this afternoon. So got to give our hearts and our prayers out to the family during this time of their bereavement. So with that being said, let's get into our show. So I am just one of your hosts for this evening. I am your co-host, DJ J Rod. Of course, over to my right is former mayoral candidate for Baltimore City, Yolanda Pulley. Good evening, my sister.
Nope.
Okay. And down below me, right there, in the box, right there, Ravens fan, of course. Seems like we can only get victory on the road, or when we on a Monday night or Thursday.
Is that all you saying, sir? Is that all you saying?
Those on the road games and Monday night or Thursday games is ours in the book. But when it comes to playing at home, we got the players. We starting to get used to the players and getting used to the plays, and so we in a row right now, and it's not where we can only win games at. We're starting to win all of them now. We gonna hold on to that and like Jesse says, keep hope alive. Same energy. Keep hope alive, like Jesse says. Keep hope alive.
It is alive, bro. But I just need you to stop talking about my Ravens unless you praising my Ravens. And shut up, Yolanda.
I was praising. I was saying
they only win. You don't
Mondays
start off as a Ravens
road.
fan saying they only win. We winning.
And last but not least, just a true all around person that just really has stepped up to really help our organization. Anytime we need him, he is there. An immaculate chef. An immaculate lyricist when it comes to that spit game. Everyone give it up for Deron Hill.
Huh?
I don't know what that was.
The invisible pirate.
I thought, wait a minute, hold up. I thought it was something wrong with his microphone. I'm like,
me too.
Right? They're right. I was clearing
the way I got the cord wrapped around his phone. It's all right.
Mic check.
1 2 1 2. You want to be?
We need a video check.
Technically, don't do that. Don't do that.
So let's get into this conversation. So, tonight again, we have to have this conversation about violence in our schools and how can our children necessarily succeed when it seems like there is just a onslaught of violence and disruption within the school system. I want to read to y'all something really quick, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to try to bring it up on the screen. Just bear with me right quick. So it turns out that so far this year, there's been 5 guns found in Baltimore City schools. Not to mention, there were several shootings, as well as there was even a homicide that we had this year.
Jason, is that total for all of Maryland?
No, so that's just for Baltimore City schools.
Okay. I'm about to say that don't sound right.
That doesn't include guns that may have been found in Baltimore County. But
right.
I want to share this video with y'all really quick. So I'm about to bring it up right now. So I want y'all to watch this really quick because I saw this earlier and I feel that this really kind of starts the conversation off.
If you would, stop what you're doing and take a look at these photos. Each one of these represents a potential tragedy stop. These are the 4 guns that were confiscated from Baltimore City schools in just the past month and a half. As WJZ was the first to report, this one was taken from a student just this morning at Forest Park High School in the Dorchester neighborhood. You're watching WJZ News at 6. I'm Vic Carter.
And I'm Denise Koch. Welcome to those of you watching on CBS News Baltimore and on WJZ. As Vic just explained, 4 guns were confiscated, but there have actually been 5 gun incidents at city schools since September, and the 5th actually was a tragedy. You may remember Jeremiah Brogdon was gunned down in the parking lot outside Mervo High School. He was a junior and a football star, just 17 years old.
WJZ has live team coverage on the violence in city schools that we know is something that you and your family are talking about. And here is Ramos is at City Hall explaining a new program that aims to bring positivity to our students to stop violence before it happens. But we begin with Ava Joy Burnett. She's live at City School headquarters tonight explaining everything we know so far about the gun that was found there today. Ava Joy.
Hi, Vic and Denise. Well, school officials say they are relying on everyone from the staff to the students to remain vigilant, especially when it comes to these gun-related incidents. Keep in mind that we're just over 2 months into the new school year. This is now the 5th gun-related incident, and the first one ended in tragedy. On the first week back to school, a 17-year-old Jeremiah Brogdon was gunned down in a parking lot at Mervo High. The suspect is another city school student. And then in the weeks that followed, the reports of loaded weapons in schools started coming in. The first incident was in September, then 3 others in October. The latest was a loaded 9mm at Forest Park High School Tuesday morning.
First of all, how did they even get the weapon? They're a minor.
WJZ spoke with students at Forest Park High School, and some are wondering, how could it be that a gun got past the metal detectors? Is there a way for people to get around the metal detector with a gun?
No, because there's usually like 2 homeowners on each side checking the backpack, so there's no way, unless somebody else brought it for them and sneaked it in.
But this resident who lives nearby told us he constantly sees a lapse in security.
I see them going in and out all day long, in and out of the side door.
A spokesperson for the school district said they're taking every step possible to keep students safe.
There is no place on Baltimore City Schools campuses for guns. And so we make sure that we put our safety measures in place. We have metal detectors. We have our...
Who is this line heifer?
Trained on what to look for and how to handle situations that involve guns and weapons.
Lies, all lies.
You can tell the way her eyebrows
incident, but the National Association of School Resource Officers believes there's been an increase in school gun incidents nationwide, and that the environment outside of schools is a contributing factor.
There must be some sort of fear, and it may not be fear inside the school. It may be leaving his home and getting to the school that makes him fearful.
What'd you think?
And school officials are not allowed to give specific details on how students who are found with weapons are disciplined, but according to the code of conduct, that discipline could range from administrative action all the way to expulsion.
That's a lot too.
Ava Joy Burnett for WJZ.
But here's the thing.
Did they say all the way up to expulsion when you could get federal time for a gun?
Right. And that's the thing. Where's the seriousness?
Join Duncan.
Hold on.
And get it
out of this. Free. Let me get out of this. So where's the seriousness in all of this? Because at the end of the day,
and what is the procedure?
There can't be a gray line when it comes to these type of issues, for the simple fact that you're talking about something that could cause death, something that can cause the loss of a life. So we can't have these gray areas. There has to be
2 more
stiff,
taken
harsh penalties involved in this.
You know, Jason, after that aired, it was actually 2 more guns taken out. One of them was last week at Mervo. They took another gun out. How you not know that guy wasn't lying? Because when I was at Forest Park High School today, getting put out, the doors, the police officers. The police officers.
Say it again. What happened to you?
When I was at Forest Park High
getting escorted out.
Right.
Getting security. Wait a minute. When the security guards was walking me out of, you don't have to say their security guards are yours. When you was being walked by security.
When I was being walked out by school police today at Forest Park High School, when we were standing outside talking, the doors. Hey, go back, close that door. I said, then you wonder how guns get in your school? Are you serious? What they
But
do
I'm
is
trying to figure out, because they said on that the what you were just showing the video, it said that we have metal detectors. That means multiple. I've heard of a situation where they have one at the door and one going into the office. How is that securing the whole school?
No. Don't listen to this. They have it at the front door, and then they turn it to the side. They turn it around to the principal for you to go into the office.
But how is one per school acceptable?
It's two because they let them
Yolanda,
into the
but somebody, I'm telling you, somebody told me that the school has two, but one is at the door and one is at the office. Like, and so you care more about the administration than you do for the school. That's it.
Yeah. So it's at a certain time after school is already in session. What they do is they turn the metal detector towards the office door. So now you got to walk through the metal detector in order to get into the main office. And children,
but they can't be walking through with guns. And somebody just stated that somebody might be sneaking in there with this like correctional officer type of stuff.
The neighbor in the neighborhood said that he sees them going in and out of the
Donna,
side door all day long.
I'm telling you, we seen nothing. It's okay. So here go the front door. This is the front door. Down this walkway, down to the side is a side door. On the right, on the left, you go down again, there go another side door. These doors, while we were standing out there, at least 15 to 20 kids was walking out of the door. And when the police,
and you can't lock them because it's a hazard if it's a fire. Like, you can't lock them. So just like Crazy Joe,
why is it no alarm on the door?
It's alarm on them.
There's usually alarm. There usually are alarms on the doors.
It's
usually have those triggers like in the hospitals or like at the movie theater. When you hit the buzzer, it goes off.
And they need to be, because unfortunately, if students know where the exits are, they don't even have to bring the gun in there. They can put the gun on the side, open the door if it's no alarm on it, grab the gun and take it right in school. That's simple.
Donna,
I don't want to give nobody no ideas, but it just seems like something you should have thought about. My whole thought process, when we were coming up in school, the ones that wanted to handle the guns and the drugs, they stayed home and handled that on the street. Like, they didn't, we typically didn't interrupt the school. So if we wanted to hustle and get in trouble, we didn't bring it to the school. And then, because we knew that the schools wasn't accepting it, the last thing we wanted to do, we would rather hook school all year than be expelled. You just didn't bring that mess to school. Like, it's a place for that.
Well, here's the thing, too. If there was an incident similar like that, most of the time you had engaged parents. So when you at least contacted the parent that was either involved in the bullying or the child that was the victim of bullying, at least the parents would show some sort of concern, and there would be some sort of parents-teacher conference. We just had an incident recently, and this is kind of, I hate to say it, the norm in Baltimore City when it comes to getting a hold of our children. We had a parent say, well, when he's in your hands during school hours, he's your responsibility and your problem. And this is a child that was accused of possibly bringing friends to the school, to Forest Park, with guns, looking to start trouble. And you're going to tell me that you have a parent that has disconnected and disengaged from rearing her child, her bad acting child, a child that, if he continues in the pathway that he's headed now, is going to be one of our incarcerated citizens very shortly.
Well, see, the problem
that I have be out there too long.
Okay, the problem that I have is when I go up to the school today to approach them about why they let the child back into school. And she basically told me he was already disciplined. He was suspended. And now we can't stop him from getting education. And then she turned around and looked at the assistant principal, was like, did you call his mother? She said, yeah, she didn't answer. She won't return any of our calls. So again, we have this little boy in school that's antagonizing children. And again, your good idea is to remove the good students, but keep him in the same place.
But my problem is the process. Like, if there's a gun involved, there needs to be 911 called. And if school police wants to assist, that's a whole nother situation. But when you take it outside of 911 hands and you just put it into Baltimore City school hands, it's going to be a lot of balls dropped. There's going to be a lot of kids' lives in jeopardy, because who keeps track of these processes in the school? They're not even teaching the kids. The staff is understaffed. Like, and then
they are
you
teaching the
call,
kids.
And the children,
they teaching the kids bad behavior. That's
and,
what they're teaching. They're
and
teaching them, women. They're teaching them that it's okay for you to do what you do. And this is what I was telling Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton today. I said children and her staff follow under her, and they see that there's no accountability for her, so they know that it's no accountability for them. I spoke to several activists in the community today, and basically they are very displeased. I mean, when I say that nobody in this school likes this principal, no one, not staff, not students. Matter of fact, incident number 2, while I was standing outside, making these phone calls to who I was making these phone calls to, this little boy came out, screaming obscenities about the principal. He said, she just put me out. I said, she put you out? He was like, yeah, they put me out because I was sitting in the hallway trying to keep myself from being into a conflict. So I'm sitting in the hallway, and they told me to come to the office. Once I get to the office, they told me that I had to go home, and my mom ain't even home. I can't even get in the house. They called my mother. She told them that I have no way in the house, and they said that I had to leave. So when I asked the school earlier in the midst of an argument, they told me they didn't know where the little boy was, the one that's starting all the havoc in the school. They didn't know where he was because he wasn't in class. So I said, they put you out because you were sitting in the hallway, and they got an idiot roaming the school, and they don't even know where he is. And you know what he said? Man, that's why nobody like her now.
But it's the same person that you had an incident. I want to play this clip really quick, because this is what happened to you earlier today. So I want to play this clip.
No, I am not there.
Do that again.
Oh my God.
Do that again.
Oh, here to stay.
I am not getting off this bus.
I'm not getting off the street.
They said that's the only way they're gonna shut her up.
They pull it right out of the school system, escort her right out the school system. But,
now, see, the problem
they don't know who they're messing with, though. I tell you that much.
But listen, with them doing all of this, and they make it seem like it's okay, because the ones that's going to be protected, like Santa Lisa's and those on North Avenue, those are going to be protected. The students and the parents and the neighbors and the neighborhood, and those are the ones that they're collateral damage. So if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. They don't give a sugar honey iced tea.
Well, guess what? I hope somebody's listening so I can tell them I've been put out of better places.
You what?
Been put out of better places.
Like church. Anybody that get put out the house of God, she don't mind getting put out of City Hall, the school building, school, she don't mind that. You get put out of church,
The courthouse, the outhouse, she getting put out.
Home.
Right, home.
Family.
This can't take you nowhere. This can't take you nowhere.
At least I stood my ground.
You've been put out of families before. Like, come on now. Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I ain't feel a certain kind of way. Because like I said, I've been put out of better place.
Because we was prepared for this. That's the thing about
Anger
growing
management.
up in trauma. It's things about growing up in trauma that actually makes you a little stronger. Like, you learn to take names on the show. It's like, you call me what? Like getting jumped. Like, I've been jumped before. Like it's a lot of things that it prepares you for. Thank God that we didn't grow up easy. Like, I would have loved to have it easier, but I don't think I'd be here.
But it's just a different day and time. And again, you can't take these things not seriously. Like you can't say, like back in the day, again, we would fight, scuff, knuckle it up. And at the end of the day, we all still came back to school. Now it's a different threat. When you start talking about guns and weapons, and it's not that it's not happening. We've seen the confiscation of guns. We've seen the murders happen in school. You can't take this not seriously. It has
Jason,
to be taken very seriously.
You know what? One of the things that they're suggesting that they do, allow the teachers to bring guns. Now, it's a lot of teachers that scared of students. So if you got a teacher in there that feels like somebody got a gun, or because you got police that stay trigger happy. You have what happens if the student don't come in there with the gun, but the teacher is allowed to come in there with the gun, and the teacher don't have it stored properly, or one of the students overpower the teacher, and then the gun that they weren't even allowed to have in the school, now it's exposed. These situations.
Well, Donna, the nonsense to go with that is that the key teacher keeps the gun in a locked box that's in a locked door.
But when you need it,
by the time they get to it,
it can be an issue.
But you have school police that can't carry a gun in school. Now, in Forest Park High School, they always have they walk through the school with their gun.
That's because it's prisons.
Somebody said that the other day, said that the structure, the shape, the lighting, everything about the schools and our hospitals.
And Jason, look at the difference in Baltimore City and in urban cities and in the counties. I literally want to show you, because the schools out here, the high schools out here in Carroll County, they actually look like college campuses versus the ones in the city. They look like old beat down jailhouses. All of them, almost all of them. And then the ones that they're making more, modern, they look like federal prisons.
Well, Donna, the thing is, I'm the one that told Jason about that. I said we mimic the jail system.
They get you used to it. Stand in line, follow the leader.
No, it's everything from the uniforms. They make them all look alike.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything to the school lunch.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
Jail food. Is everything from the way they have to walk in a single file line down the hallway with your hands to your side. Don't touch, don't push, don't do this, that, and the third. It's mimicking, it's getting you ready for the prison system.
And that's why they said prison pipeline. That's exactly, and they got to get you familiar with what you'll be looking at.
I can tell y'all didn't listen to my song.
Huh?
What, your new song? Your new
my
song,
called, my song called A Spark Mind. I literally said education and prison systems work hand in hand.
Well, yeah.
They're paid by children in seats to overpack the class. Prisons are paid by incarcerations that are mass. Your attendance, I said, your records only in attendance of your past. Keep you stupid before you flew. Huh?
Send it to Jason so we can play it. Let's see that.
It's on YouTube.
And so what's the name of the track?
It's called A Spark Mind.
A Spark Mind.
Yes.
A Spark Mind. Okay.
See my baby picture?
What?
My baby picture's on there.
I got you. So we're gonna check this out real quick because again, the maestro here obviously has something deep that he wants to say real quick. So we're gonna play this clip real quick, and we want y'all to check this out real quick.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish. And because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it.
noticing. I was looking for warm hearts in the coldest skin. I had to do some self-reflecting, have my moment when I seen the man in the mirror and put my soul in him. I had some people in my circle that was close to kin. Realized that they wasn't, so it's kudos to him. A lot of agony and pain I was holding in. Soon as I let it go, blessings rolling in. Now I'm at peace, no energy to the world circus. So instead of the gunshots, I hear the birds chirping. Conversations with people with a superb purpose. Instead of stripper posing, girls twirling. Being the life of the party, I thought that I was happy. Now I catch myself smiling when I see kids laughing. Making funny content to show my kids happy. With a beautiful woman for when I feel nasty. Peace I be seeking, no longer reaching. Hater secrets be the reason y'all don't see me a lot. Shadow working on them urges when I think for the shot. Fruition for everyone that ain't believing the plot. I chose growth, now I'm the cream of the crop. I cut the fruits from the weed on the block and branched out to be a tree shaping arcs. Fuck the money, I'm in love with the art. It shed light when I was stuck in the dark. So keep the selfish remarks. Serenity in the form of a god. I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. I'm imperfectly flawed. I spread love and I show it to all. Cover my scars, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Just don't draw on my arm. Enlighten to be a titan with a knife in my heart. Remove the arm and ain't no karma, breathing life in the marks. This new life that I was nice to embark is filled with all of the things I never knew that I could have from the start. Isolation created revelations. Epiphanies under my elevation. No need for desperation. Need more than 40 in a mule for my preparations. Cause I done struggled, man. Show up at your door with the birdies. Just call me hustle, man. Yeah, I used to run plays, but never fumble, man. Compared the streets to a 9 to 5. So when I re-up, it's just like Uncle Sam. It ain't no fucking difference. If you can wake up and hit the block, why not hit the clock or start a fucking business? Different perception, is it? I don't care about losing. I just don't want the wrong people around me when I'm winning. Flowers on your grave, but never in your grass. Past is what you save, but got to play the past. Education and prison systems work hand in hand. They pay by children and seats, so overpack the class. Prisons are paid by incarcerations of the mass. It's like your record of attendance in your fucking past. Keep you stupid so you clueless is the fucking plan. They pushing in our music, so you vote again. People be talking about they woke, but they sleepwalking. Politicians want your vote from that cheap talking. They lucky I ain't got a voice, mine's I be sparking. And I'll be bringing down the house like I'm Steve Martin.
Oh my God.
Well, there you go, family.
Who is that?
Oh, will you stop it?
What?
Will you stop it?
Donna, you muted, Donna. Who is that?
That's my little monkey.
Who is that? Oh
my
my
little
God.
monkey. That's
And
my
family,
little monkey.
we just shared, again, just so potent for the moment right now. Yo-Yo G, the monster, aka Deron Hill. You heard it first right here.
Yo G.
Oh, Yo Yogi. I'm sorry, Yo Yogi. Yo Yogi. I'm sorry. Well, he got it spelled that way on this damn thing. Like, you shouldn't have spelled it that way.
It's Yo Yogi, not Yo Yogi.
Yo Yogi.
So,
Okay.
so the part when I say conversations with people with a superb purpose, I'm actually talking about the radio. This right here. This is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Conversations with people with a superb purpose instead of stripper pose and girls twirling. You know?
Or girls twerking.
You know, whatever they do. I don't know what they do. I'm a saved man.
Nope.
Yeah.
The one with all that profanity, it was just a shocker.
Right? The lightning get ready to come through this live feed.
Listen. A sparked mind.
It's a terrible thing to waste.
Wait, why did he stop in the middle? Like, I thought I was waiting for something else.
I was waiting for the rest.
Listen. My father said it best. I can't change the world, but at least I can spark the mind that can.
Well, my father said it even better.
Huh?
My father said it even better.
Wait a minute, who's his father?
Martin Luther King.
No, the person that was on there at the beginning. My father was on there at the beginning of the song.
Deron, your father's not Tupac.
Yes, it is.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Listen, brother.
Hallowed be thy name.
Listen, first, God's name was Howard. So listen, Howard be thy name. Listen,
it's hallowed be thy name, not Howard, fool.
I thought it was how art be thy name.
I'm too through. I'm too through.
That's because you mumbled it every time you said it. It's time to. Amen, amen, amen.
Well, Dawn, I'm gonna take it a one step further. I'm gonna show you where lyricist right there get his word from.
What?
I'm gonna read you the poem that I wrote yesterday, which coincides in what he said, what she said, and then what I said.
And what about what they said?
No, I ain't thinking about what they said.
Oh.
Yeah. So I say people ask. I said when people ask, what does black mean to me? I respond by saying enslaved while so-called free. While the Declaration of Independence is assassination, character of defamation is their nonprofit organization. We are still sitting and waiting for her trauma bonding with repopulation and no reparations. Wait a minute. We are still sitting and waiting here, trauma bonding with repopulation and still no reparations. Are they or are they not going to pay for what they did is the question at hand. To admit they robbed, stolen, murdered, and lynched us for this so-called free land. Like the plague, we blacks avoid help for mental illness, like dinner being served to us on some dirty dishes. If you have a problem and you don't seek to find, all 37 people in your head will show you that you have a sick mind. Treat your mental health like you're trying to fix your financial wealth. There's nothing wrong with taking care of first yourself.
Deep. Thank you, Miss Gaines. Yolanda, okay, so what are we doing? Spoken word. I am
who I say I am.
That I am.
Because I am
who God said I am. Not who you call me to be, not who you think I am, not your judgment of me.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Just me.
See? It's in the DNA.
Okay, we got Donna Angelou in the building.
Bring it on.
Your turn, Jason.
I ain't even going to attempt it. I mean, I ain't even going to attempt it.
You should have spent the beat. Drop the song, DJ J Rod.
I said I should hook up my controller and, spin us in, every
I'm
once in a
just
while.
saying though, and that the music will belong to us. Spin it through.
Wicked. There you go.
Yeah, but it's kind of disturbing, y'all. Going back to the subject, it used to be a time when we as Black people used to say and used to assume that every school shooting was going to be white people. Now you literally sitting back, just like the Virginia school, it was a young Black man that shot up, and they're all Black. They're all Black. So it's like when you start, because a lot of times they say be careful how you report them, because some of the people that's doing it want to be reported on, and then they made it a thing. So now they feel like they're gonna become rich and famous. I mean, not rich and famous, but they leaving a legacy on their name, whether it's good or bad. They don't care. And then when you start allowing that and not applying the full extent of the law, because one thing about it, these are things that some crimes Black people aren't eligible for. We get treated differently. So the same little white kid that that whatever time they get, ours will be times 10. Not that no one is deserving of, if you take someone, an innocent person's life the way they're doing it, but make an example of all of them, not just some of them.
See, I think also we are our culture. We're the only culture where people can actually come and thrive independently. I said that in another song that I'm recording, but and what we take from other people's cultures is all the wrong things, like school shootings and mass shootings and stuff like that. That was never us, and it seems like we've adopted that.
But it's affected us, directly, and in many cases, we forget we're talking about school shootings, and we're right in the midst of a school shooting just today over the last 12 hours with Virginia Tech and a shooting at Virginia Tech. And I just saw a feed that just came through social media that showed Black inspiring beautiful young men at Virginia Tech that should be worried about final grades, midterm exams,
how to pay back student
studying,
loans.
right? How to pay back student loans. Hopefully they on
Because
a
the way
full
this
ride.
government is, they still gonna have it,
And you
even
thinking
in their
that
death.
you're thinking that this is a moment that you are at your greatest accomplishment in life. You are in the process of learning to get a degree and hopefully go out there and do something productive in the world. And somebody comes and snuffs that out,
Or
snuffs all
what
that
about
effort
over
out.
East Baltimore today when they had 2 schools that was barricaded because somebody was running around the neighborhood all willy-nilly around school with guns? That was on
Unfortunately, the
Sinclair.
schools that we have in the city is in the hoods where the guns at anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, my thing is that if you want to offer a student a safety transfer, which you transfer into another Baltimore
What,
City
out of the
school, is
city?
not. No, that's what I'm saying.
You're
When you're
going to
talking about,
transfer from one hood to the other hood and got to get through to that hood. And where's the safety at in that?
that's what I'm saying. There is
And
no
then if they
safety
keeping
transfer.
all the bad students or the questionable, excuse me, if they keeping all of them within the school, and then you transferring another student, because remember with our bad kids, we were sent to other schools, alternative schools. They did not keep us in the schools like Francis Inwood and those type of schools. Those were the schools that the questionable kids, they took them away from, because one bad apple tends to spoil the bunch. Because if you have a few guys that's in the school that's known to come up to the school or known to threaten people with guns, the innocent one's going to start bringing the guns,
That's what I
because
told
who
Sharon
else is
Green
going to
Middleton.
protect them?
Yeah, because they want to protect themselves. I mean, in this
Exactly.
situation, what are you supposed to do? Again, especially in a university setting where the university police are supposed to protect you. Again, 3 beautiful black men, inspiring to their greatness, and taken senselessly. It makes no sense. What are we
All from the
supposed to
football
do?
team now. All from the
And
football
again,
team.
these are supposed to be centers of learning. We shouldn't have to worry about anything going into these schools. And Yolanda says it the best all the time. And I will definitely commend you on this, my sister, when you say this. When you got a school system that's spending $22,000 per student, our children shouldn't have to worry about nothing. When you have basically almost unlimited resources are being put into these school systems, these children should not have to worry about anything. But yet we have folks like Sergeant Clyde Boatwright, who has told us numerous times that the school police are not getting the resources that they need. You have school police officers that are off at 3 o'clock because the school system refuses to pay them overtime. And what happens?
It's not even overtime.
Most of the activity is happening. Well, sometimes it is, because if an officer is working through the day and then stays for an additional hour after 3 o'clock when the school closes to ensure public safety of the students and the community, then why not pay him for that? But the school system is so nickel and diming that they basically took away. Right. And they took away.
Every school has a budget that they can put in and have these officers, or even hire Baltimore City's police officers to come into the school. To come up to school, and they will not put in that money. Now, the problem that I have with this, and I told Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton, and I told Sharon Green Middleton today, $22,000 per child, and you're offering the safety transfer, but you're not offering the safety transfer to a school that the parent, if I want my child to go to private school, then that $22,000 should be able to follow my child.
Well, here's the thing.
Muted, Donna.
Here's the thing. There is supposed to be,
but Jason, it's not 22,000. It's not 22,000 is going to that student, because literally once they allocate the funds, the school only had to use 20%. So that's only $4,400 that's actually being recorded for the student. So the rest of it is in the pockets of the school and should be allocated towards the officers that's there.
Right, administrative.
It should be more, right. Exactly. So it's only $4,400 that the government want to know about.
Okay,
that's
but see,
it.
My problem is that there's no accountability for
it's
these.
It's not going to be because of staff.
I'm talking about for the principals, for the administrators in the school, because I done been a Forest Park at least 7 times this year, where angry parents then came in and wanted to fight the staff at Forest Park for one thing or another.
But look at their leadership.
Exactly.
Right. I was sharing this article really quick because the mayor's office is trying to move forward with a plan. So there is a school-based violent prevention program that's supposed to be aiming at helping public school students. And according to this article, this just recently came out in the Afro, again, November 13th. This was yesterday when it came out. And it says that Mayor Brandon Scott and his team are forging ahead with a new violence prevention program aimed at reducing violent trends. And we know that one of the violent trends are in the school system. And it says the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement recently announced that they would partner with the Baltimore City public school system and establish school-based violence intervention programs. Now, I want to show you something. We're going to go to one more clip, but I want y'all to see this. So this is what just happened recently, and this is technically part of the plan that they are having for the school system. I want you to see this.
Welcome to those of you watching on CBS News Baltimore tonight and right here on WJ.
Can you see that?
No doubt about the story we have been following for weeks now.
This latest troubling incident happened at Baybrook Elementary in South Baltimore. That's live tonight.
Annie Rose Ramos speaks to parents about what happened there and why this fight, Annie Rose, a little bit different from the other ones that we've seen.
Yeah, Rick, and to give you an idea about where everything took place, this is the school that you see behind me over my shoulder, and the fight that you're about to see in this video happened steps away right here in the middle of this street. Rick, what's different about this fight is that you're about to see children and adults fighting along each other, both participating in this fight, and a warning, what you're about to see may be disturbing. Fighting breaks out at Baybrook.
Jason, how about if I send you the uncensored video?
Well, for the sake of the children, we don't want to expose the children.
Woman getting pulled by her hair, while Safe Streets workers wearing orange.
Did they think about the children?
Breaking the fight up, as you can hear screaming in the background. Neighbors living across the street say it's nothing new.
I'm not surprised. Kids, they fight all the time. I don't know over what I don't know.
You're telling me this isn't the first time?
Not the first time a fight that broke out like up here by the school and stuff, no. And it's not like they got no security or nothing.
And parents like this mother says her own daughter has been a victim of the violence at Baybrook.
My daughter was getting bullied. The little boy, he pushed her down. She heard us all talking about incidents that's happening and nothing being done.
And tonight we're learning from Safe Streets that they do have a relationship with this school and their Brooklyn site that helps ensure the safety of the students as they travel to and from school. Reporting live, I'm Annie Rose Ramos for WJ.
So I want to say something really quick. What's interesting about this conversation is, hold on, I got to stop this. What's interesting about this conversation is we're talking about Baybrook Elementary. We're talking about elementary school. We're not even talking about middle school. The high schools are off the hook because we personally have gotten that information from Clyde Boatwright that, from the beginning of the school year, like it was about maybe a month, Yolanda, that the school has started, and we were talking to Clyde Boatwright, and it was only a month into the school year.
Oh, wait a minute, the first
saying it was that was a collection of everything that happened for a month,
right?
When we finally had spoken to Boatwright. In reference to what was going on in our schools, because we were getting reports of violence in our schools. And he was telling us the high schools are out of control. There's nothing that they can seem to do to get the high schools in control. And a lot of times, a lot of this happens, guess what? After school hours. During the time that most of
it happened outside of during the summer, during the spring. A lot of these are neighborhood things that's pouring into the school. That's what a lot of it is. Like when we were in neighborhoods back in our day, a lot of things that school fights stem from us hanging out. He say, she say, somebody said, somebody don't like. A lot of that stems from that. The problem is they took discipline outside of the home. That is the issue. When we were coming up, and I hate to keep saying that because it shows my age, but our teachers was allowed to discipline us. We got popped by rulers. We knew one teacher used to throw a shoe. It's like, it's certain teachers that you knew. Yes, it's certain teachers that you knew not to play with. It's certain parents that you knew not to play with. It's certain school administrators that you knew not to play with. Now, it's like if you look at your
Well, it
child
wasn't
wrong,
that
then
one. It wasn't that one Donna pushed down the steps.
I didn't push her, yo. Like, don't go on that narrative because I almost got put out of school for that. Like, I laughed. She fell by me. And nobody liked her. And I'm not going to say her name is Wanda. Nobody liked her. And she tripped by me coming down the steps during our graduation, our practice. She tripped by me, I promise you. Like, I laughed hard, but I had nothing to do with that.
Yolanda's having a sipping tea moment.
Wait a minute, I used to be so bad in school. I used to be so bad in school. I thought that they was inviting me to a tea party because down in North Carolina, they used to call them tea parties. I didn't know what a tea party was.
Tea party was tear that hiney up. That's what a tea party is.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I thought we was gonna sit down with the little cups of tea and sip tea. Well, I was like, oh wow, I'm going to a tea party. I gotta go to a tea party. And I'm wondering why the kids looking at me like, you want to go?
You on that perp? You on that perp walk?
But what the
dead man
is,
walking? Dead man walking.
The tea party was you had to bend over the desk and hold your hand like a cup of tea, and while they spank you with a big paddle.
Wow.
I ain't like them tea parties.
Wow.
I ain't like the tea parties. I don't want to ever go to. I think it traumatized me forever.
But I bet you one thing, they didn't have to have.
You don't even like tea no more.
Jason, back then they didn't have to have a weapon. They didn't have to have nothing at the door. They wasn't checking our book bags. Like, we knew better. We knew better. We knew who to play around. We knew who not to play around. I don't care how bad you were.
Look,
one thing about it is the last thing we wanted them to do was call our parents.
That's what I was about to say. The worst thing, the worst thing that you wanted to happen was your parents be called. Now, you know, I'm going to tell y'all a story. So my mom's came up to the school, right? So I got called in. I was acting up all day long, carrying up all day long. And my teacher told me at the lunch break, said, look, you know, you keep this up, I'm going to have to call your mother. And I was like, man, call my mother. Call my mother. I didn't care. I started acting up even more. So I was tearing up a ruck in the lunchroom and cracking all kinds of jokes and being disrespectful to all the teachers. And next thing I know, the whole classroom just, like, they were laughing at first, but then they got silent. Now my back was turned, so I didn't know what was going on when they all got silent. But, you know, I'm thinking something's wrong here because nobody's laughing at my jokes anymore. And I go and I turn around and I look, it's my mom's, and she had her robe on.
You got Wanda Vereen.
She had a wrap around her head with the rollers and everything in her hair. And she's standing there with the thickest belt that you could imagine, standing there just waiting for me to finish my routine, my comedy routine, so that she could let me know exactly who's in charge here. Right. She was waiting for my comic routine.
So call ourselves hiding her through the school when her mother came up there.
Her father, Wanda Vereen, her father came up there and beat her in front of the class.
Look,
tore it up.
Look, it was a bad time too because my mom's really and truly, I kind of punished my own self in reference to this because my mom was actually going through cancer battle at the time. So my mom should have been home, sleep, resting, and I shouldn't have been, you know, the knuckleheaded child that I was. But I tell you one thing, I straightened up after that because my mom's tore me up in front of everybody in the school. I was the laughing stock of the school for weeks. All everybody kept saying as I was walking down the hallway, hey, I think that's your mom's, man. Your mom's coming. Your mom's coming. You know, and me, like a dummy, I'm looking too. Like
that's because
one thing we never wanted Elaine up to school because Elaine used to embarrass you. Like, she didn't like it like
what happened
to that? Of knowing that she might hit you or what's she going to say, because she didn't only embarrass you, she embarrassed everybody in the room because she felt like she shouldn't have been called from work or wherever. She might have had a hangover or whatever. So it went from a bad situation to awful.
Oh yeah, quick, fast. And what would be considered to be child abuse now, back then, wasn't considered child abuse.
My mother wrote a poem.
It was character building.
That's what it was.
I forgot the Ron was on here.
Wow.
Well, I got a lot of character on this behind. I can tell you that much. A lot of character.
Yeah, he got.
And it built a lot of character.
Wait a minute, he got characters. He got Road Runner, Bugs Bunny.
all Hot Wheels.
See, the crazy part is, like Donna said, because we do have the same mother and father. The thing is,
so y'all can easily share them more stories,
right? But the thing is that you would rather got spanked in school, hoping that it would not be as bad as when you got home. Like the time that I thought it was a good idea to play with my mother, and you better not say I ain't even talking about that. Shut up, Dawn. I ain't even talking about that. Shut up.
She about to spill.
We are not
spill the tea.
Talk about that. When I was in school and I was showing off, and I had to go in the principal's office, and my mother showed up. The worst thing that I thought was, okay, well, she's going, since she didn't hit me in the school, I thought everything was fine. I got suspended for something. And she didn't hit me in school. She waited till I got home, and it was time for us to get in the tub. And when I got out that tub, she wet that belt and tore my yeah.
That's usually the best times for me. That's usually the best times I would get it. It's during that time when.
But we knew how we was going to get it though, Jason. It's like we got the look, and once we got home, it's like take a bath.
No, not all the time. No, I was plenty of times.
They wanted to make sure our skin was moist enough to take a licking.
There was plenty of times where I thought I was in the clear. I didn't think nothing was going to happen. I ain't hear nothing from the teacher all evening. I just knew I was out of it. And my mom's, I'm thinking it's just a regular night.
Out of it. You're not out of it. It ain't no bubbles in that tub. It ain't no rubber ducky. You know that it's that time. Or the switch. We got a lot of switches. We got slave beating too.
So we have just a few minutes left, and before we wrap up, I just wanted to point everybody to our website. Again, have an opportunity to check out who we are. Go to pebts.org. Go on there. There's also a donation function on there if you want to donate to.
I just looked at it. It's gone. The button is gone.
All right, I'll double check that, but it shouldn't be gone. But I'll double check that. Maybe something with PayPal. I don't know. But you can also still donate to us through our Cash App, $ PEBTS 2020 is the Cash App. Again, that's PEBTS 2020. We are a certified 501c3 nonprofit. If you'd like a receipt for your tax deductions, we can give that to you as well. All contributions are tax. How do you say it, Donna? My financial.
It's the tax write-off.
Tax write-off, tax deductible. And again, you're helping a great cause. Again, we have literally helped hundreds of families, to be able to navigate through everyday life struggles. We don't get any funding from the city. We don't get any funding from any source, technically. We're doing this sheer out of love and out of our own dime and out of contributions from great folks like yourself. So again, if you have an opportunity, visit our website and just see what we are all about. Family, y'all want to wrap up in a couple of seconds here?
Just say good night. See you next week. We're going to have to absolutely continue this conversation because we need some solutions.
Yeah. And then again, we have to figure out how do we protect all of our schools, because again, we are talking about a shooting at a college. And as we saw earlier,
sooner or later,
three beautiful black men.
Yeah, but what don't affect you directly will affect you indirectly.
Of course.
So we got to say good night. We love you, and we'll see you next Monday.
Love y'all, family. Be blessed.
Good night.